Alright, the Sikhism, sorry, my camera, like, cut out on me, I apologize for that, but the Sikh temple, or just the Sikh in general, say no matter what religion you are, you always go to heaven. Doesn't matter what you do, as long as you do good by God, you don't go to hell. If you make sure you do the things that you believe are good, then you won't go to hell, which I think is great, because heaven is a really cool concept, a place where you can be. I'm pretty sure that it originated from the word haven, which means like a safe area, a place where you can feel secure and everything, which is also a really cool concept. I would like for the earth to be a real life haven. But yeah, Sikhism is cool because you don't go to hell, no matter what religion you are, as opposed to Catholic religion and Christianity and Judaism. Oh, or maybe not Judaism. I know that for Catholics. Catholics are fucking crazy. I'm sorry if I offended you, but you guys really are. You're fucking insane. Same with Christians. You're ridiculous. You talk about all this stuff. You hide behind your religion. You hide the bad things that you do in your life behind your religion. And I'm not speaking for all of you. I'm just speaking for the bad ones out there, the ones that say, "Oh, hail God" all the time. They're just hiding behind their religion. They're really, maybe I might get interrupted again. Let's wait for it. But all right, the thing is, they always just say, "Oh, no matter what you do, if you're not a Christian, you go to hell." Catholic people say, "Oh, no matter what you do, if you're not a Catholic, you go to hell. You won't be taken up during the rapture," blah, blah, blah. All this stupid, crazy stuff that makes no sense. Why can't God love everybody? I mean, if there really is a God up there, or wherever the hell he is, because he's obviously not in space, because we haven't seen him. Quote from the first man, Yuri Strauss, I think his name was, Yuri something, the first man to go into space, said, the first words that came out of his mouth was, I do not see any God up here. That's an English translation. He said something in Russian, but I don't speak Russian, so it'd be cool to speak, though. But wherever this so-called God is obviously not in space, or maybe he is and we just haven't gotten to him yet. But yeah, it's really stupid how we can say something so shitty to each other, like, "Oh, if you don't do this, then you're not going to heaven because you don't believe in our God," and just ignorant Christians and Catholic people too. Just the fact that I was just browsing the internet on YouTube, or browsing not the internet on YouTube. I was browsing the YouTube page, just looking for cool videos. Like, when I ran into this, I was actually looking for a video that suggested that there was proof that there is a God or isn't a God, and why. Because if I see proof, I want to know why it's proof and stuff like that. But the video, it was in like Muslim or something. It was in some sort of weird language. I'm pretty sure it was Muslim or Arabic or something. But it was Allah, which means God in the Muslim. Or Allah, Allah means God, just in a different language. It's either Muslim or something else, Arabic, or it's not Arabic because it's all weird in Arabic. No offense, but yeah, God means Allah. And all these stupid Catholics and stuff, just because of the name of the title, "Oh, well, I don't believe in your God, but whatever, hopefully you go to that heaven," which was kind of nice. I'm glad somebody said that. And stuff like, "Oh, well, Allah isn't a real God. The only real God is the Christian God." And then somebody was yelling back, "No, the only real God is the Catholic God. Christians will all go to hell." And just stupid shit like that doesn't make any sense. Allah is the same God as Christians and Catholics, just a different word because it's in a different fucking language. Why can't people understand that? It doesn't make sense to me how people can be so stupid and ignorant and not know what something means, yet go and criticize and attack their religion when they don't know half of it. It's so stupid. If you're going to attack somebody, and if you're going to completely mess with somebody, you should at least know what you're talking about before you go and do it, because it makes you look stupid, it makes your whole religion look stupid, it makes your family look stupid, it makes everybody that you're associated with look stupid, unless they're astrophysicists or rocket scientists. But you should really know what you're talking about when you talk about stuff like this. Like, religion, it's not my strong point, but I know enough about it to be able to talk about it and have my own opinion. Like, saying that Allah isn't the real God, that's not an opinion. That's not a fact. or sorry, no, that isn't an opinion, that is a false fact. That is somebody saying, oh, Allah, I know for a fact that Allah isn't the real God because it says God in my Bible. That is a false fact, when Allah actually means just any God. It suggests that it's one God for all humanity, but not in English. It's in a different language. But it's still a God for Catholics and for Christians and for Jewish people and everybody else. It's just in a different language. That's why people get that so confused. So that's cleared up now. So if you go and attack the Muslim religion or Islam or anything like that, now you know what you're talking about. That Allah means God for everybody. But on a different note, what was I going to say? Another reason I don't enjoy the whole faith experience thing with, with just God and stuff, is the fact that there's not evidence. There's evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. I just saw on the news about 20 minutes ago that they found a scripture that said, on a piece of really, really old, authentic-looking cloth, that said that Jesus had a wife. So I guess that's big news. The man named Jesus had a wife. I mean, I know lots of Jesuses that have wives. No, I only know like 2, and only one of them is married. But he's like 30-something. I know him over Xbox Live. He's a pretty cool guy. He's like a hardcore gangbanger, though. Like an OG. But, yeah. I've known Jesuses before. I knew a Jesus in like 6th and 7th grade. And like 5th grade and 4th grade. I knew him for a while. But, alright. Whatever, I guess the Jesus Christ, it might not even have been the Jesus Christ, it might have just been Jesus, but I guess he had a wife, so that's big news. But what I don't understand is that there's no scientific proof of there being or not being a God. It's always just, okay, God exists, and if you don't believe in him, then you go to hell. And you'll never know if you'll go to hell or heaven because you can't find out until you're dead. So you can't come back and tell anybody that there's a hell or a heaven. You just kind of have to experience it and not be able to tell anybody, which is a little bit too perfect for me. That's a bit too perfect of a solution. The fact that, oh, you'll find out, you just won't find out until you're dead and unable to communicate with the rest of the world, except for the people that already know about it. That's the only thing that slightly irritates me, or that's one thing that slightly irritates me about religion, is the fact that it's so flawless, and the fact that you can't decide whether there's a God or not, or a heaven or a hell or not, is just kind of weird. It's like it's almost been planned, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, there's no scientific proof that there's a God. There's scientific proof that we came from single-celled organisms at one point. There's scientific proof that the Earth was formed by gravity, but there's no proof that we came from we were randomly just jizzed out by a god. There's no proof of that. There's no proof that he just took some brown and blue clay and green clay and just molded it together and threw it into this little thing called space and created Earth. There's no nobody really has a definition of how God created Earth, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But, there was no scientific proof. There's scientific proof that the Earth was formed by gravity. There's scientific proof that humans once before came from single-celled organisms. Apparently whales came from land mammals at one point. Whales have hip bones, and that's the only reason I know that, is because of the fact that whales have hip bones, but they can't use hip bones for anything, because they don't have legs. So at one point or another, whales came from land mammals. They used to walk around on the earth, and now they swim underwater. But they don't anymore, because of evolution, and that's what happened to us. Now I'm kind of getting into a weird, scientific rant. But, yeah, that evolution is so not scientifically proven that it's exactly related to us, but it's extremely, extremely, extremely close to the point where we can decide, yeah, this is what happened to us in a scientific standpoint, and be able to back up our evidence. With religion, you kind of just say, oh, here's a book, read it, and you'll find out why I believe in God. Honestly, that's pretty much all it is. experienced heaven when I was killed, or when my heart stopped and restarted, I saw heaven. But usually those are just like mind experiences. I heard that it was something on the news like 10 years ago. I don't remember the exact show I was watching, but it was something about people that it was like a 2020 thing or something like that. But the only thing you can go on knowing if there's a God or not is the fact that people have to either tell you for themselves and you just kind of have to believe them, or you read this big-ass book called the Bible and just kind of have to go off that, or whatever the Muslim book is, or sorry, the Islam book is, or whatever the Judaism book is. I'm not sure what either of those are called, and I'm sorry about that, but that's the only real evidence that we have of a God existing, or of a Jesus Christ existing, or anything like that. So that's one reason I don't like Catholics and Christians and most religions. I don't have a problem with people believing in them. If you want to be religious, go ahead. Just don't start preaching to me. Don't try to change my mind about where I stand in religion. Because if you start yelling at me and telling me, oh, you're wrong, there is a God, blah blah blah, I'll just be like, all right, well, scientific evidence proves not, or it says otherwise, and what you say obviously isn't right because we have actual fact with equations and algorithms and stuff like that, and actual physical proof that once, a long time ago, there was something called Homo erectus, which was the first of many descendants of the now known humans, the modern day humans, which are known as Homo sapiens, and that means same being, or sapien means, I think sapien means being, I don't know, having a brain fart, but yeah, homo means same, that's why homosexual, same sex, blah blah blah, whatever other analogies you can think of, but that's why I don't like religious people, is because actually I had a friend, I still do have a friend, his name is Austin, yeah, you know who I'm talking to, paper gassed, like for 3 days, the first day I told him I didn't believe in God, I told him I was atheist, and this was last year, he was like, oh no, well you're wrong, because blah blah blah, all this, and of course I went to defend my knowledge and said, no, that's not true, but now I'm kind of thinking otherwise. I'm not saying that I'm changing the fact that I don't believe in faiths. I'm just saying that people are going to believe whatever they believe in because they believe in it, and that's pretty much why people believe in God. I mean, there's no real proof that there is a God, but there's no proof that there isn't a God, as I said earlier, probably in the last video. But hopefully I can cut out that getting interrupted part, because that will most likely be on video. I don't want that to be on video, because people, I don't know, I live with a bunch of people, so, and a lot of you may know them, but never mind, I'm cutting this out too. Alright, just sit here and think for a minute. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. People that don't like, people that believe in faith are really, really quick to judge other people by saying, oh, well, you're not right, you should believe in my stuff. And that's why I don't like the fact that, religious people don't have their facts straight. Like, we now know that there are different types of human species, like Homo sapien, whatever the other ones were. I knew them last year, I forgot about them, it wasn't something that I hoped to memorize, but I didn't, so, but there's evidence, there's proof, there's actual physical proof that you can go and look at a museum, that there was, anyway, other living human-type species that we descended from over the time, and we evolved from over the time, just like whales evolved from land mammals and now live in the water, and that's why, or in my opinion, that's why we have these weird appendix, I don't know the plural for it, we have an appendix. Nobody really knows what it's used for, but we have it. It doesn't really do anything now. Same with tonsils. Probably, I'm going to guess that they were used for maybe, like, purifying raw meat, because some early humans couldn't really purify it by cooking it or whatever. They just kind of had to eat it raw, and it probably protected them from the poisons and stuff that were inside of them, or the illnesses that they weren't immune to them inside of them. But we don't need that anymore, because every single human eats cooked meat or doesn't eat meat, or whatever they do. I'm not sure what they do nowadays. I'm not sure what those damn kids are doing nowadays. But yeah, we all used to eat raw meat, is my guess, and that was to help protect us from the bad things that would happen to us with raw meat. But we don't know anymore, and probably never will. Maybe there's somebody out there that does. Please link me to it in the comment section if you know. But yeah, sorry, I was making hand movements. I don't know if you can see that. I'm like, I'm trying to like strangle the air, I guess, because I'm just getting frustrated with this speech. But I'm going to continue on anyway because I am enjoying doing this right now, and I need to put out a video for everybody. So, one more thing, sorry, I'm still on the same thing. I don't like the fact that religious people, getting to my point that I was trying to make like a minute ago before I started talking about the evolution thing again, what I don't like about religious people is that they don't believe in fact. If you are to go up to one of them and say, hey, this happened and there's evidence, go look at it. It's exactly here. It is in this exact area. Go look at it and you will see that there is proof that we didn't come from Adam and Eve. We came from genetic mutations of ourselves billions of years ago, or millions of years ago, hundreds of millions of years ago. And they'll just almost lie to our faces. They don't know they're lying because that's what they were taught. That, no, that's not true. Adam and Eve, that's who we came from. God made two perfect humans and they messed it up for all of us, and that's why we all live in this society now and can't see God, and stuff like that. That's what they'll say, just because that's what they were taught. Not because that's the truth, but because of the fact that that's what they were taught. Alright. This is probably going to be the third part of the video, like, right now. So,